how to awaken your consciousness. How to start connecting to consciousness is Shiva. So how do we start? If we're unable to awaken our Kundalinis, or we've been studying it, but we want to do it by ourselves, we don't want to use a master, a guru to help us via the use of Shaktipat, which is one big part of what I do on my trainings. How can we get a glimpse of awakening consciousness? We have to understand that for the vast majority of people, they live their lives through the eye of their monkey mind. And to get a glimpse of consciousness, we must step outside that monkey mind. There are many practices from all around the world that try and explain badly how to do this. Mindfulness, meditation, reciting mantras, all these things, they are attempts at explaining something that I'm going to explain in this video very, very simply. And it is to manage to get away from, to shut down that monkey mind, to be able to embrace what we could call the mental body. And once we are in a position to view from a perspective outside of that monkey mind, outside of that egoic perspective programmed by everything external of every minute we've lived, of all that information input into us, creating all our biases, our filters, our beliefs, our spiritual egos, our regular egos. Boy, do I get some spiritual ego people in the comments on my channel. It always makes me chuckle when they come along. But how do we do what all these techniques try to tell us? Even down to, the silver method. Great method, don't get me wrong, brilliant method. They teach you to do it via lowering to the alpha frequency and things like that. But if you've ever tried that method, it sounds simple, but to actually get that, I'm going to really make it simple for you. I should be selling this information for tens of thousands of euros, doing retreats and courses specifically in this alone, because I completely could. And I wouldn't be surprised if someone sees this video and sees if they can develop it and turn it into this massive course to make themselves money. But this isn't about making money. This is about improving the planet. You have to understand your monkey mind. It might feel, when you're in it, enormous, overwhelming. Your beliefs, which aren't yours, they are things that have been input into you. You are receiving it like a sponge. Children are sponges. They absorb everything. They are computer programs absorbing the input data from their parents, from their friends, from the schooling, and there are systems that know this and they take advantage of it. Whether this is obligatory education, they program via brainwashing, whether it's through repeated prayer of religions, or going every Sunday or every Saturday or 3 times a day to the temple, whatever it is. Different forms of brainwashing, slow brainwashing, fast brainwashing. It is about media uses psychological techniques to break through any filters you have to get that information into your brain. Previously, this was done in cinemas, now banned, but the the subliminal messaging that beverage and food companies used to do in between the movie. They'd flash an image. So I remember going to the cinema as a child. As a child, I absolutely hated fizzy drinks. I couldn't stand them. And I would go to the cinema, and at the interval, I'd be like, I want a cola. And I'd even ask myself, why do I want a cola? I don't like the stuff, but I want one. And every now and then it'd be like, okay, let's buy one. And I would buy one. I would take a sip and be like, oh God, I don't like that. And that came from the subliminal imaging that were put quick flashes of these things, of these images of these cola drinks and other food and beverage within the movie. It's bizarre when it happens. I remember it very clearly. Something you don't like and suddenly you really want it. But this goes on, supermarkets that pump in smells and put certain lighting on food. And as you walk in there are so many tricks that are used these days to input stuff into you. So you do things not against your will, but you do them without knowing. That is your monkey mind. That is your ego. That is your computer. To embrace consciousness, we must very simply step outside. When we step outside of this, we can get a glimpse of what consciousness is. The deeper we go in this state, now obviously the most effective way to go very deep very quickly with this is to awaken Shakti, awaken the energy within the spine that rises to activate the brain to go further and really activate this consciousness fully to experience things. As I said, that's what my trainings are about. theawakeningenergy.com if you're interested. Monkey mind. If you close your eyes right now, and if you let's use some basic imagination here. Take a step back, one step back and one to the left, outside of your body. So like energetically, within your imagination. As soon as you do that, if you do it quickly, and then you look back towards yourself, looking over your left shoulder into yourself, you will see that energetically, not looking at the physical body, looking at the energetic body, there is this thing that's, some people will say it's about the size of a pea. Personally, for me, I find it's more like a peanut shape and size. So right there, this tiny little thing there. And that is this thing where 99.9999999% of the population live within their program. That is the program. That is the little chip in your head, energetically speaking, metaphorically speaking, of course. That is the chip. That is the memory bank where you live. And as soon as you can see that, look around. Hold it there in front of you, just a little bit down to the right, because you're standing behind yourself. And look around. And if you've done this correctly, you will have no thoughts. Your mind will be blissfully empty. And the more you look at that peanut or that pea, the more you come to realize how long you have been trapped in this little box, struggling, looking out, trying to understand everything from this tiny little perspective. And as you're outside here, just looking around, you'll see how vast this mental body actually is. It is formless, it is shapeless. Maybe at the beginning, it might only feel like it's about 1/2 meter in diameter, but with practice, you will find it is infinite in size. Just sit. It's this simple. Just sit in this space. We could say by doing this, we've instantly gone into or the possibility to go into a very deep, very profound meditative state with one very simple thing. And we just sit in this space, making sure that peanut stays where it is. And we can actually push it away from us. Our minds will be quiet. If it's not, you haven't disconnected from the peanut, or you're still in it. You never stepped out. So step out again. And you can look around. And understand the vastness, the openness. And you can just very simply be. And you will become aware. This is your first taste of consciousness. Keep that peanut in view. Don't go back to it. Because the way you're programmed is it will try and bring you back. And after you've sat in this space, try and stay separate from it. See how long you can stay separate from it. It will be a challenge at the beginning. As soon as you have a conversation with someone, you'll be whoop, straight back. With practice, every time you get stressed about something, whoop, straight back. Any challenge, any stress, any boom, you'll go back again. And you have to realize you've gone back, and you have to say, oh, I've gone back again. Here I am. Oh, I'm looking out this little window. Boy, it feels small in here now. No, I preferred the other place. Take a step back to the left. We're back again. Why a step back and left? Why not a step back and right? Try it. Take a step back and take a step to the right. See if it works for you. If it does, leave it in the comments below saying, hey, I took a step right and it also works. Brilliant. For most people, you will find it's a step left. But there are people who are reverse orientated and blah, blah, blah. So for some people, it will be the right as well. As I said, if you try that, if it works, if it's successful for you, brilliant. Now, if you're the type of person say, what? Take a step back from myself and take a step to the left. How do I do that? That doesn't make sense. I have to live within my mind. I have to live within my physical body. That's the program you're running. If you say that, if you're that type of person, I will ask you, do you like chocolate? And it doesn't matter whether you like chocolate or you don't like chocolate. So you have an association with chocolate, whether you like it or you don't like it. Where is that association? Now, again, people who are completely programmed say, well, it's in here, it's in my brain. Or it's on my tongue. Or it's in my tummy. What's your favorite color then? Red, blue, green, orange. Where's the feeling coming from? And we can keep going down this road. And people say, here, 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 until they actually come to realize that it's not in here. And they suddenly be like, I don't know, it sort of feels about here. It's weird. It's not in me. It's here. Or it's here, or it's here, or it's here. Now you realize where you store memories. This is very obvious when we're talking about energy healing and releasing traumas, because the traumas, whilst they can be connected to a certain part of the physical body, somatic release, this is what somatic release is all about. So it might have a connection, be it in an organ, a part of the body, blah, blah. The actual location of that memory is somewhere outside your body. And this is how you can also heal energetically things outside the body, and they just get released and detached. You don't have to go through the pain of psychoanalysis or psychotherapy or any talking about it or reliving the pain, or you can literally just release these things. Now, obviously, if you use those things in a pattern, in a habit, the pattern and habit is another thing that has to be solved slightly differently if it's not broken instantly through energetic healing. So once we realize these things aren't in fact in here as we've been programmed to think, when we realize they're outside of us, okay, so now you've realized your like for chocolate is here, your like for strawberries is here, and your dislike of yogurt is here, whatever. So, okay, well, if all of those things are actually outside your body, then you are also outside your body, right? So just step out. When you realize it is really as easy as just making the choice to not believe your programming, and you can just step out. Now, we're not talking about astral projection here. We're just talking about shifting our conscious thought from here to being here. The feeling of it. You can say, oh, well, I feel I'm behind myself, but I know I'm still in my body. I mean, I'm there and I'm still moving, so I must be in my body. Yes, of course you're still in your body. But you're taking yourself out slightly to be able to see this little chip, this little peanut that controls you. That is the objective of this exercise. And once you do that, that is the path to a true awakening and to connect to consciousness and itself. And you can sit in this for years and work on it. Great, go for it, brilliant. Or you can then become aware of the Kundalini, awakening Shakti to connect to Shiva, consciousness. As I said, third time, it's what I do, theawakenenergy.com, in my trainings. Come join us to go further, much faster. We work through theoretical practice, practical practice, and obviously Shaktipat. This is where I can really help you go very, very quickly. And this process that for most people can take 20 years, we can do it in, depending on the course you do, within, and the previous work you have, 3 weeks, 3 months, 12 months. I have different trainings, different programs for different people. But before you do that, if you're interested in coming for a training, do what I've just described here in this video. It's worth millions. People make millions off far less than that through ideas and books and trainings and retreats. And write comments down below. Share this with anyone who you think might find it interesting. And I will see you in another video.